one has to also approach the discussion with fairness, a sense of wanting to be fair. Each religion must have the right to self-representation and self-interpretation, even though the interpretations they offer can be debated in an atmosphere of friendly inquiry. That means that if you're trying to persuade somebody of your religion and they are not of it, and they want to challenge you and question your arguments, they surely have a right to do that one-on-one. And so in a religious discussion, the same would apply, but not in an abusive form. Then the important principle, one must not compare one's own ideals with the other's practices. This is derived from the list of Professor Swidler, and this is indeed a most excellent principle, a necessary principle, because how much people make invidious comparisons where they do exactly that. They say, my religion is all based on love and so on, but you are all full of murder and slaughter or something like that. Well, sorry. You're just doing this fault, and that's simply a discussion and dialogue fault in that case. It's an invidious comparison. Also, one has to remember to engage the majority trends in the other religions and not try to select only those trends that are seen as congenial to the self. That is, one should not simply take up the people who are saying things that one agrees with in the other religious tradition and then trying to build them up as the authentic representatives of that tradition. And one must recognize that conservative, practicing, believing religionists can also get along with each other. So it is not necessary to dump one's own religion or religious practice for the sake of dialogue. In other words, a person does not have to be secularized or democratized or universalized or something else, some word, in order to engage in the process of rising to a level of fairer attitude toward the religious other. And that's kind of astonishing to think that, but it is possible because one doesn't have to be pushy about it. And in America, people are generally offended by pushy religionists. Whereas if people are humble religionists, then the other usually doesn't mind that. And the only people who are offended by humble religionists are those who are pushy atheists, pushy scientists, pushy secularists, and so on, who are themselves are falling into the same fallacy. And for example, I have plenty of ammunition to use against any religious other, but I don't want to make people feel bad in their own religion, and I don't ever want to make people feel bad in their own house if I'm visiting people. But if somebody does try to, get pushy with me, well, I can certainly blast them back. And so I don't have a lot of sympathy with that.